Hey guys, it's Jason Okie sharecropper here. Today we're going to do a little heavy hauling, I think. I've got to go move some stuff with the tractor in town. So we'll hook this thing up to my B&W trailer ball there. Somehow I hit that just about right. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Anyway, hook this trailer up and we may haul off a load of junk to the roll-off before we start. Been doing a little bit of wintertime stuff out here. I'll show you guys. Breakaway, it didn't even work, so I'm not going to hook it up a ton of it. Hook my lights up. Let's see what we can get into. You guys come along. Guys, like I said, this is just a load of junk. That wood over there is what come off of the deck of this trailer when I redecked it last year. And I hung on to them, I think because I didn't have a place to put them, to throw them away. So I do it this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and load these up and I'll strap them down. We'll haul them down there to the dump. The roll-off trailer, I should say, not the dump. I hope you guys can hear me because I've got this speaker mic. I'm trying to keep it out of the wind so you guys don't have to hear a bunch of wind, but like I said, they should fit right on here because they come right off of here. I've got a bunch more stuff put on here. I'm gonna back up here and see if I want to do this other job. Miles down the road, straight to where I'm going. So, but I think I need to strap this thing down. Guys, one thing about loads like this is not a very good load at all. But I do have straps, so I'm going to secure the load with a couple of straps, and I'm going to be real easy. I'm only going about 3 or 4 miles, you know, take care of business. So a lot of people probably wouldn't do that, and people pay for that. They just leave it laying in the road because they're inconsiderate and don't care. But I actually give a hoot because I live up here. But we'll strap it down, go toss it, then I'm probably gonna watch a ball game or something. It's cold and miserable out here, and I'm not in the mood to be out here in it very long. I gotta figure out if I can strap this down. There we go. I don't know if y'all can hear that in the distance, but that coon dog is tearing something up over there. And it's just cold enough, the old deer hunters are probably out deer hunting. Right now it's the day after Thanksgiving. They're probably in the house or probably out there getting away from everybody else that's in the house. Everybody's probably gone Black Friday shopping and the guys are hunting, I imagine. Be my guess. So anyway, like I said, that'll hold it pretty tight. You can put another strap on it. Anybody getting a bunch of texts for Black Friday sales? I am. I don't really want them. I'm dadgum short getting the text for them. Hope you guys can hear me and don't hear all that wind. You ever just had one of those days? One of those days, guys. I know good and well y'all can hear that coon dog now. I'm telling you, some hunter's gonna run her off. I hope he runs her off safely, not the bad way. She don't deserve that. She just needs to hush. Whew, guys, that's cold. I'll go down here to this roll-off dumpster and get rid of these boards anyway, and then there's a pretty good possibility I'll go on into town and I'll haul a little bit. I don't have to haul. I was going to haul my tractor in to do what I'm going to do at my mom's place, but I think I won't be able to do it without hauling tractor in. Try a high lift jack, but when I get there, I'll better explain what I'm doing. But it's pieces of my lifetime. It's pieces of things that I need to do. So anyway, it'll all make more sense when I complete the things that I'm completing. Put it that way. So this is a journey, a marathon. You know, it ain't a sprint. So you'll see the things that I'm doing eventually. But I'll explain them to you when I load this up. But what it's for. But then you'll see me put it to work. So anyway, I'm gonna run into Davis, like I said, go to my mom's and try to load up some stuff. So y'all come along. All right, guys, let's unload this stuff. That might be all we do today. I'm not sure, but we're gonna go. We gotta turn this thing around anyway. We're gonna go look and see. Hey guys, I've arrived at my mom's place, my dad's place, and I'm gonna take down a gate, actually 3 gates I think, to take home and use on my entrance to my place. And it's a story that I'll tell when I go to building the rest of my entrance to my place. But my daddy always called the place that I live the other end. So he always says he's going up the other end. So my wife had a cutout made of the farm scene that goes on a gate, and I'm gonna put it on this gate, and it says the other end on it. So anyway, what I'm doing is, I thought, you know, my dad built these gates, or he had them built, but I'm pretty sure he built these himself. So it's just some sentimental value to the place, and it all ties the story together, and it's something that I'll see every time I go in and out of the gate now, because I'm gonna come in the gate every time I come in and out of my house. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and take all 3 of these gates with me if I can get them off, and I'll choose the best one. I may wind up putting 2 gates up, but I don't know for sure what I'm gonna do. I can get by with 1, I think, but 2 would be better. But anyway, I'm gonna take all 3, and my brothers or sisters want one of these gates, they can have it. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it down, because this place is for sale, and I don't know for sure who's gonna wind up buying it. it's a long story, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get these gates because the lot is not even complete. I mean, it's gonna get tore down anyway, so this means nothing to anybody but me. So anyway, I'm gonna set you up and let you watch me take these gates down. Okay, guys, I've got to get my high lift jack out. We're gonna use a high lift to lift that up off of those hinges. Those are homemade hinges out of sucker rod, and this thing should come right off of there. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna do that. I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. I'm getting the high lift out of the pickup right now. We'll work on it a little bit before we start, and I'll show you that as well. So, I tell you what, guys, working out of a pickup that you really don't want to scratch, if you can keep from it, is a full-time job, because I don't think you can work out of one and not bang one up. I'll turn you guys over here where we can see what I'm doing. But this old high lift jack, if you guys are familiar with the high lift jack, these old springs and different areas of the jack, they need to be greased every once in a while, because they sure enough will lock up on you. So every once in a while I try to get this old jack in better shape, and where it'll do its thing, I hope. It should be in good shape now, I hope. But like I said, it's not wanting to play the game. It's playing the game now. All right, guys, we got that part done. I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Right over here on these gate hinges, right here, all it is 3 sucker rods, and I've got to pick that gate up off those sucker rods. So that's what we're gonna do. You guys ought to be able to see that. And my brother could have come help me do this, but my son was gonna come help me, but guys, I really don't want. I just want to do this myself. How weird that sounds. I just want to do it myself. I like my dad. I won't bother nobody. I'll just do it myself. So anyway, we're fixing to make contact there. I smell animal feces, but there's one click. We'll see if we can do it, guys. I hope we can. Yep, she's gonna play the game, guys. And when it comes off there, it's probably gonna get heavy, or it's gonna fall. So it smells like dog poop out here. What it smells like. And there was some wild dogs out here once upon a time. I believe we've cleared, guys. Yep, we've cleared. We got that gate off the hinges, so we were successful with that one. That one come off. Oh my goodness. These old gates are heavy, guys. That's what I was afraid of. They're made out of pipe, so I don't know what I was expecting. If I can get it pivoted good, it won't matter how heavy it is, it'll turn. Yeah, that's a solid pipe gate, guys. That is solid. Anyway, that's a good one. That's a good one there. Guys, I don't know how long that is. I'm gonna say that's a 12-footer, but I don't know. I'll have to measure it. But I'm gonna go up there and get that gate, and I'm probably gonna take that gate. So, because if I don't take them, they're gonna get thrown away. So, anyway, that's what it is, guys. This is handmade. It's heavy. I'm gonna back in there and get this other gate, see what happens. So you guys stand by. Put my stuff up. Like I said, I don't know how in the world you can work out a pickup, not bang one up. So, heck, guys, before I back in there, let's go ahead and get this other gate over here. I can drag it over to there. If I can't drag it over there, I don't need the gate. So, that gate right over there, I'm gonna go jack it up and see what I can do. I even considered taking this lot with me, but boy, it'd be a lot of work to get that lot out of there. Boy, that's some thick Bermuda grass right there. That should raise right up off there, guys. There we go. Let's see if this one will come off. This one might not. Yeah, it's going to. Like I said, there'll be some modifications to these gates. They're not just going to slip. They're not just going to go right back on where they're from. That might not come off, guys. I'll try, but I don't think it will. If I wiggle this end, it might. Like I said, I don't know if that'll come off or not. That's raising the whole corner of the, that's raising everything, guys. I can't do that. Yeah, it don't want to release, but it will in a minute. Hey, watch these old high lifts, they'll get you. Yeah, it's gonna raise the whole corner of this lot. Yeah, we don't want to do that. I think he's trying to tell me that one's gonna stay, boys. I might move it one more time, then I'm gonna get that one up there. But like I say, these old gates, they're just not wanting to let go. I can understand. I can understand. It's gonna be under some pressure here, boys and girls. There we go. That old gate's been there a while. That old gate is growed in the grass. Yeah, that old grass growed around that gate. It's wanting to stay. It might get to. It might get to stay. There we go. Guys, that gate's been shut a long time. It might come off her now, though. Let's try this, guys. Guys, I don't think she's gonna come. This one's not. If I whoop on it, it might. Get my hammer out. Hammer my WD-40, I guess. She might come off there. And then again, she might not. That's a little bigger gate, I think. There we go. Now, this ain't gonna get no better than that, so we'll get you a little better view of that. See what that'll do. Yeah, it's guys, I just don't think, without cutting that one off, I don't think we're gonna be successful. You'll probably see I'm lifting that fence. You know, I'll wiggle that thing back and forth a little bit. See if it'll come. I bet it don't. Y'all seen it move any? It's got a little bind on it. Let's see what it did. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I just got to put some more bind on it. I just want to take it to its new home is what I'm trying to do. Yeah, she's gonna come. This old jack dangerous, so guys. Like I said, I'm gonna wiggle on it a little bit more. You guys watch that thing. I don't know, guys. It's not really wanting to. When we had this old company, we had my dad, my grandpa, and my uncle had a company called Web Construction, and we had a welding truck. And on the weekends, a lot of times, my dad would have that welding truck out here, and we would work on stuff. So that's how this whole thing got built. So later they sent some guys out here to work. They didn't have no other work. They sent them out, but I think my dad pretty much built all this. There we go. When she comes, guys, she's gonna come. So she might come at you guys. I'm hoping she don't, but she might. Hope she falls out. There we go. Yeah, she kind of come at you, but not too bad. All right, guys, we just didn't give up. Take that home, take that where we need to put it. So let's drag that old bugger over there. Load it up. Boy, that bugger is heavy now, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That old bugger is heavy. If nothing else, I'll put one on the entrance and I'll use them I'll make a lot out of them. Do me a lot. Use these as my gates. I don't know, these are heavy. There we go. Goodness, guys. That was heavy. I know them old dogs have been, that was here, pooped out here a bunch. I sure smell dog poop. There's some pipe or something down there. I just stepped on it. That's something. I don't know what that is. That's a rock, I think. They're going to be different lengths, I think. This might be a bigger gate. It sure felt heavier, so it's got to be bigger. And it is. It's a couple feet longer, or a foot longer anyway. That gate. I'll show you. I'll show you here in just a second. I'm an old man, guys. It's not as easy on me as it used to be. See the difference in those gates? That's a, oh, it might be 18 inches, but I don't think it's 18 inches longer. But that's what they are. Let's go get this other gate, that one right up there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna back in there. Well, guys, I got a little story for you. You know, right after I bought this pickup, I had trouble, it wouldn't start. And come to find out, I had to format on the gas pedal. Something we all learned a deal on that. But anyway, I was going to a conference this weekend, or this week. And my wife had called me in the middle of the week and said, or first part of the week, and said, hey, is there a trick to starting your pickup? And I said, no. She said, well, why'd you lock it in the garage? I said, well, I didn't lock it in the garage. She said, well, it's dead and it won't start and it's locked. So I did a little research. And I called the dealership and they said, it's probably a bad battery. I said, really? I said, yeah. So I took it in and they checked it, did a bunch of checks on it Wednesday evening late. And come find out it's a bad battery. So, you know, just solidifies. They don't make them like they used to because this truck's, I ain't even made a payment on this truck yet. And it's already had a dead battery. So, you know, all that computer stuff, I guess. But anyway, I was going to tell you all that story. I'd mentioned it in a short, and some people had asked about it, said, you know, unhook the battery cables and let it reset and all that stuff. But it wasn't that. I had to jump the truck for 45 minutes before I could even get the thing started. And then I drove it straight in and they took it straight in. And like I say, a couple hours later, I got the truck back and there was a new battery in it. So yeah, ain't that something? Ain't that something? This gate may be even bigger than them too, but it might not be. We'll see. We'll just see how big it is. Get it over here about where we want it. There we go. Yeah. We'll be able to do something with that maybe. Nothing else, I'll grease it down with WD-40. Oh, I ain't gonna have WD-40 this one. This one's playing the game, guys. There we go. She's off there. Man, it kind of spooks me a little bit when that happens. She's just sitting there right now. I'm gonna get out of her way. Put this stuff over here. I'll tell you another story when I get this loaded that I seen something that I think you guys be interested in. It's junk. It's junk to most people right now. It's probably gonna be junk to you guys, but it's my history is what it is. And a lot of memories in this lot. Done a lot of things in this lot. That's a good gate there. It's a heavy duty sucker right there. sheet right there, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this one's longer than both of them. And heavier. Anyway, I'll strap this down, but let me take you guys around and show you some stuff. You gotta understand my dad, he grew up when they didn't have nothing and he just made things work. So I grew up the same way. You know, my dad, he showed us how to do a lot of things. So what I've got here is that right there is an old military engine case is what that is. When I was growing up, you'd have thought that was the Grand Champion swimming pool. I got off in it a couple of times. We didn't swim in it, but we always had this thing in this lot. Right here, there's a bar across there where it serviced both sides of this lot to water out of, but held a lot of water, and we kept goldfish in it. And I'll always remember that. That's just part of it, ingrained into my memories. Good memories of that, you know. Daddy'd come out here and take this piece of pipe on the end of it. He'd take the piece of pipe out of it and we'd wash this thing out every once in a while, get the algae out of it, because you didn't treat water back then. You just let them drink it. But right down there, there's a piece of pipe. He'd take a pipe wrench, he'd take that out, and he'd wash that thing out. He'd do that. I can remember him doing that in the evening time, weekend. He'd fill it back up with water. There was a water hydrant right here. Matter of fact, there's a water hydrant right there. It's laying right there. It busted once upon a time out here, and after Dad passed, I'm sure, and we just took it out and capped it, I imagine. Because there's a water line in here. But what I was going to show you was right in here. There's a gate right here. You go in, and there was mangers in here. And years ago, right about right here where I'm standing, right here, these old cows would come in here, and they would, matter of fact, let me show you. Let me show you better. And that's where my brother burnt the barn down, the old wood and tin. He's supposed to haul the tin off. We ain't got it hauled off yet. So anyway, that's what that is. But anyway, let me show you. Like I said, right in here, guys, there was 2 mangers with wooden catches for the cows, milk cows. Daddy'd bring them in here and he'd give them sweet feed, and he'd lock their heads in so they didn't pull out, and he'd sit in there and he'd milk, and he'd keep baby calves in here too, and he'd let them have some of it and he'd milk the rest of it. But he kept a couple of Jersey cows he milked nearly all the time, at least one, but at times he had a couple of them. But that's what this was. This is a shed. There was a shed right in here, and then the barn was over in this area over here. And then we used to put square bales in this barn. My Uncle Roy Webb he had one of them deals you drove and picked up square bales. And I think it's a New Holland, but bell wagon. He'd pull up out here in the lot, and he'd either dump that load or he'd kick the sides off of it, and he'd help us. And we'd drag that hay in this barn, we'd stack it. And then right along in here, there was a wall with holes in it inside the barn. It went off into a shed, and there was a big hay manger in here. And there was a hole on each end, and we'd drag that hay over there, and we'd kick it out of them windows, and we'd feed the horses or the cows or whatever was in here. They'd eat out of that manger. And they was usually running back in here, or they was running in this lot. And then you had this little lot over here that's fallen down now. It's got the trees in it, but that's where we'd run those animals into, and we'd bring them over here. And I don't know if you guys can see that. I think you can, but there's an alleyway right there that goes to that head chute, and that's where we loaded out of, and that's where we actually doctored animals and stuff like that. But this whole lot, like I said, you know, this whole lot, it's a whole bunch of memories, this whole lot. And I think just the older a person gets, the more they realize what they had and appreciate how they grew up. I know I do, more and more every day. But this is nothing to anybody. This is not fancy. It means nothing to anybody. They'll tear it down and throw it away, whatever. But it's a lot of memories here for me, and I know my brother and my sisters. They all have the memories here too. So it's not just me. But like I said, that's the old lot. And then the garden on the other side of that far fence right there. There's a fence before the house, but that's a garden. That's a big garden area. Raised a lot of garden stuff, and then it turned into a pen. We'd raise calves in here, but like I say, with the barn gone, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But when the barn was here, you could better understand. This was a facility. It was I guess you'd call it a three or four steel pen facility, and you could do whatever you want to with it. And then the distance, there's 2 old Army buses down there we painted green, and that's a whole nother story. You know, I had friends come over and stuff. They're like, man, you guys got some cool buses. Where'd you get that Army paint? And I'm like, well, you know, that Army paint, that's not Army paint. What that was a whole bunch of paint that I guess one of the hardware stores was going to throw away or something, and Daddy got all that paint, all different colors. He poured it into a 55-gallon drum. I'll never forget it. And that's the color it came out, was that shade of green. And it is Army olive green, but it is not, that was not the color of paint. There was paint in that drum. There was white, red, green, black, blue, I don't know what all colors. There was even silver paint that you painted your barns with. It was oil-based paint. As a matter of fact, that's oil-based paint down there, all that was. But there was silver paint in that, so that's the color they come up with. And everything that was standing still got painted that color. As you can tell, all these fences, of course, it's about all wore off now, but all these fences was that same color, that ugly green. That chicken pen down there, green. Everything was green. Heck, Daddy probably would have painted the house green if Mom had let him. So that's a true story. But that is a conglomeration, or however you want to say it. That's a mixture of lots of different paints that came out that color. So guys, let's strap this load down and let's go and get back to the house, and we'll see what's going on. I think it's about 2:30 now, so they're probably looking for me. So like I said, let's strap this old load down and let's call it a day today. Let's get some straps. Let me load my stuff up before I forget it. My hammer and my high lift and my rebar. Man, getting old, guys. I'm getting old. I think 2 straps will do it this time. Like I said, you guys in the comments, you guys tell us some things, you know, if you've ever had to, you know, I mean, here's the deal, guys. We don't really, all things come to an end. They just do. I don't want them to, but they do, you know. I was blessed with a good life. My dad, my mom, I mean, just an excellent childhood. But, you know, it was time, you know, and Dad was sick for so long when I was grown, but like I say, Dad was sick for so long that I got to prepare myself. It was a shock when he died. He died in his sleep, and it was a shock, but he had been bad for so long that I had time to mentally prepare myself for his death. And I'm not going to tell you it didn't hurt, because it did, but I was kind of relieved in a way, because he was having to go through dialysis like 3 times a week, and he had a bad heart and a bad knee, and he just wore himself out over the years. And like I said, it was his time, the Lord's time. I didn't want him to go, but you know, that's part of it. And I knew it, and my sister, my brother, we all knew it. And you know, my brother, he'd come over every morning and would eat breakfast with my mom and dad. And he always checked on them every morning, because he's a sheriff, you know. He was coming into town anyway, coming through, and he would feed and whatever outside. Dad had some calves, I think, at the time, still had some calves. So, you know, he come in, and I'll never forget it. You know, the phone call I got from him. I just left a morning meeting at work, and he had called, and I thought it was a little strange that he'd called. You know, kind of like, I wonder what he wants. And he called, and all he said was he's gone. So, of course, I left work and immediately and come, and they waited on me to get here. And I got to, I don't know, I didn't really say my goodbyes, but I got to at least see him that last time. So. You just do things that, I don't know. I guess being in this lot kind of stirs the old emotions a little bit, and I apologize, guys, but if there's anybody on here that watches my channel that knows me and knows my family, you'll know how good of a guy my dad was. So, not just us, this whole community. He was loved by many. He was loved by many, so took care of a lot of people. A lot like my brother, actually. Guys, I think that'll hold. I hope it holds anyway. And like I say, I was going to try a new deal with these straps and how to wind them up and stack them, and anyway, so they don't blow and come undone and all that. But I'm not going to do that today, guys. I just don't feel like it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this adventure I've had today. It's been one of those days. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not just this, just it's cold and I got a lot of things to do, and I can't do everything. I got so much stuff to do that I've got to figure out what I want to do first. And I just thought, before this place gets sold, if my sister and my brother-in-law may be buying it. If they buy it, it wouldn't be that big a deal. But we had a guy that was probably going to buy this place that bought my place. I used to live right up the hill, and he bought my place, and they had approached him about buying this one. And we kind of had it set up where he was fixing to look at it. Matter of fact, this week and Sunday, this is Friday, so it'd been 5 days ago. My brother called me and said that, of course, he's the sheriff, so he had deputies out, but that guy got killed. Somehow he didn't hear the train. He didn't hear a train, and he pulled out in front of a train on a farm crossing, and anyway, it killed him. So that shut that deal down, unless the family's buying this place. I don't know what's going to go on, but he hadn't bought it yet, but he was going to look at it, and like I said, it's not happening now. And that's okay. It's God's. This thing's meant for somebody else or something, because I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know I'm supposed to understand the way God works, but I don't know why. I don't know why he's a good guy. He did a lot of things for this community, so I don't know why things happen the way they do, but they just do. Guys, I'm noticing on these gates, I have to do a little repair on them, which is fine, but there's some splits in some different places on these gates where I'm sure they got water in them or something and they split. But still salvageable, and they have a meaning to them, and they mean a lot to me. I know they're going to mean anything to you guys even, but they do mean a lot to me. They'll mean a lot to when my family sees these gates, or one of these gates at my drive, it'll mean something to them too, I think. Guys, that's all I've got for today. Appreciate you guys' support on our channel. We're trying to grow this thing. I want to bring people back to times in their past, and I'm sure some of you guys on here probably can fully relate to the story I just told you about this place. And Mom, she's still with us, but she's not with us. It's a terrible disease. Alzheimer's, dementia, whichever one she has, and it's not been clinically diagnosed, but it's one or the other, and it's the worst of the two. So it's not fair to her. but she's just trapped in her own body right now and doesn't even know it. So, but anyway, time goes on, I guess. But we all gonna meet her maker someday. So anyway, like I said, I appreciate you guys coming along, and you guys always, as always, stay safe and help someone when you can, and get right with the man. We thank you guys. We'll see you later.